Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to part 3 of our news app series. This will be the last part of this series, so by the end of it, you will have one more fully functional app to proudly add to app bucket list or showcase in your resume. I am saying one more because the users who are watching my channel from the start, they already added chat app to their bucket list. But this is just the beginning. I am committed to bring you more amazing projects in future. So do not forget to hit that subscribe button below. So let's get started. But before moving to the last part of our awesome news app series, I want to show how our incredible app will look alike. So here is my complete news app. So it is a landing page now, and you can see the image and the text we have written news from around the world for you. Now I will click on the get started button and we will move to the home page of the app. So at the top you can see the different category like business, entertainment, general, health, sports. Now you can see a breaking news section here with a carousel slider which is moving automatically, and you can see all the top breaking news here with the image and the title. And just at the bottom you can see the trending news section where you can see all the news in the trending section. So when you will click to any of the category like business, then you will move to the page named business here, and you can see all the news related to the business here. Now if you will click on any of the news, then you will move to the web view of that news so that you can read the news on more detail. Now let's move back to the home page again, and when I will click on the sports, then it will show me all the news related to the sports here, and will click it on again and can read the news on more detail. Now let's go back. So in the breaking news section you can see view all. So when you will click on the view all, then you can see all the breaking news, and when you will click on any of the breaking news, as same you can read that news on more detail. Now let's go back, and in the trending news section you can see the different news, and when we'll click on the news again, then you can read that news also in more detail. Now view all. So in view all you can read all the news related to the trending news. So now let's move to the home page. So as you can see, on our last video we have added the news for our trending news section through the NewsApi.org. Now we will move to the carousel slider, I mean breaking news section, and we'll call the API and we'll show the API in our slider. So let's move to the slider data.dart, and here we will call the API through news API. Now let's move to the newsapi.org website, and we will call the top headline API from here for our carousel slider. So as you can see, there are only 10 results on this API. So it will be best for our carousel slider because we don't need to show too much result in our carousel slider because we want in the limited form. Though as you can see on the API, there are the 10 result, but I want to show only 5 result in our carousel slider. So now let's move to the slider data.dart, and we will remove all the list that we have made just for the UI, and here we will call the API that I have just shown you in the news API website. So let's move to the news.dart file, and I will copy the same function that we have wrote inside the news.dart file, and we will paste it inside the slider data.dart. All the things will be remain same. We just need to change the some of the function name, and we need to call the different API in our URL. So now I will change the class name here and will name it to slider, and we will also change the slider model here because we need to call the URL to image, description, and title here. So I will need all the things from the API that we have wrote for the other section. So I will move to the article model .dart file and will copy the same class from here and paste it inside the slider model .dart file. We'll name the class name slider here and inside the slider model. So now I will rename the class name here and all things will remain same because we need the same data what we have wrote in the trending news section. So I will change the list name to sliders here. We'll rename the get slider function here. Now I'll copy this link or API and will paste it here so that we can get all the 10 result from this API and we can add one by one in our slider list here. So I will rename all the things like slider model, etc. So it is done now. Now let's move to the home dot file again. We need to create a function name get slider here as same as we had created a function name get news here. So I will change all the things according to the slider list we have created in slider data.dart file. So all the things will remain as same as we have wrote for the trending news section. We are just calling the different API for our carousel slider. So I wrote the complete get slider function here. Now I will call the get slider function in the init state. Now let's move to the carousel slider dot builder file and we will pass the image and title here. So let's move to the build image widget and we need to make some of the changes here because it is calling the image from the asset but we are calling the image from the network, I mean in the HTTP format. So as you have watched the second part, you know that why we have don't use image.network here rather than we are using a kekek network image here. So I will remove the image.asset and will pass a kekek network image here and inside the image URL will pass the image that we'll get from the API. Now in the res folder I will make some changes and in slider.index I will call the URL to image here. In res1 I will call the title. So it is done. Now hot restart it again and as you can see we can see now all the news that we have got from the news API. Here are all the 10 results that I have shown you in the total result. So we are saving all the 10 result from the API in the sliders list and in item count we are passing the slider.length to 10 and then we are telling the dot indicator to make it to 10 so that it can indicate that there are the 10 sliders which are present now in the carousel slider. But I don't want to show all the 10 slider here. I need to show only 5 slider. So in item count, I will remove the slider dot length here and we'll write it to 5, and we'll do same for the dot indicator. Now hot restart it again. So as you can see, we can now only see the top 5 list that we have saved in our sliders list here. So making the count to 5, we are telling that we need only top 5 list from the slider list. Those slider list have a 10 result in it because it is calling the all the result and saving the result one by one in the sliders list. But I need to show only 5. You can change according to your need. If you want to show 4, 3 or more than 5, you can change the count accordingly. So now it's look good. So our breaking news part is done, and we can see all the news that we are getting from the news API in our carousel slider. Now let's move to the category section. So in our category section, I want that whenever the user will click on the any of the category, then it will show them all the news related to that category. Let's move to the pages folder and we'll create a new file name here, category news.dart here, and we'll write a stateful widget name here, category news. Now scaffold widget, body, container, child, column. Now I will copy the same app bar and will paste it inside the category news section. So I will remove the row from here because in the app bar I want to show which category news is showing at the app bar. So when the user will click on the business, then in the app bar I will show the business. If the user click on entertainment, then in the app bar I will show the entertainment. So from the string we will get that user have clicked on which of the category. So I writing the string name here, and in category news we'll get that the name of the category that the user have selected, and we'll pass the same category name in our text widget that will be our app bar. Many of the users might be thinking that there are the 5 categories in our app. Now we will create the each model for each category like business model, entertainment model, general model, and we'll call the API for the each category we have when the user will click. So doing by this process, we need to write lots of code in our VS code, but I don't do anything like that. So through one API, I will tell you how to call all the 5 categories, and we will create only one model through which we will get all the news of the specific category one by one. So we don't need to create 5 model for the each category we want to show. I will create one model and I will pass one API, and I will keep on changing when the user will click on any of the category, and he can see the news of the respective category one by one. So by this process and through the less code, we can get all the news for the specific category we are looking for. So if you like my idea and how I want to show the news in my app, do not forget to like and subscribe my channel so that you won't miss out any of the exciting videos we have in the store. So let's go and implement that I have just explained you. So I will create a stateless widget name So category here, and here at the top I will show my image, then the description and the title. So I will create a column children and will pass the image using a Kakak network here. We will do all the things same that we have done for other news like trending news, breaking news, etc. So it is done. Now let's move to the container. Now I'll remove the column from here and will pass a list view dot builder. And so now let's move to the model and we'll create a show category dot dart here and will pass a class and will copy the same article model class here and paste it here and will rename the class name to show category model here, and all the string will be remain same. Now let's move to the services folder and we'll create a new file name show category news.dart, and we'll copy the same thing from the slider data.dart and paste it inside this file, and we rename the class name to category news. To show category news, because we have already used a category news name in our different dart file, so we can't use the same name in our class here. So I will also rewrite the list name here, and will also change the name of the function to get category news. Now here comes the main part what I have explained you before. Now I have told you through one API I will get all the categories news from the API. So let me show how I will do that. So here you can see I will call this API here, and here you can see the category name, it is given business here. So when the user will click on the entertainment, then we will change the category equals to entertainment here. And if we will change to sports, then we'll change it to sports. So how the user will click on any of the category, we will keep on changing the API one after that. So let me show you how I will do that. Though you can see the equals to US, you can change the any of the country according to your choice. You just need to give your country code here, and it will show all the news related to the that category and specific country in the list view. So the function we have wrote get category news will write a string category here. Now I'll copy the same API and paste it here, and inside the category I will pass the string that will be passed in the category of that get category news function. Now all the things will remain same and will add the all the list one by one in our category list. So it is done. Now I'll copy the same get news function and will paste in inside the get category news.dart file and we'll do the customization according to our choice and we'll just rename all the things will be remain same. We just need to rename the sum of the list and the model that we have passed here. So it is done. Now as you can see on the get category news function we have wrote widget.name here. So as I have told you that it will be keep on changing whenever the user will press on any of the category here. Now in the init state I will call the get news function here. We'll move to the home.dart file again and we'll copy the same listview.builder and paste it here. Now in item count I will write categories.length and will pass it to the show category. We'll pass the image, description and title. Now I'll move to the home.dart file and where we have shown all the category in our category tile, I will wrap up the container with a gesture detector and in on tab, I will push the user to the category news.dart file and will give the category name here. Make sure whenever you are passing the name to the get category news, then it should be in the lower case. Here you can see that we have passed the business. B in capital letter, but in the API there should be all in the small letter. Otherwise, you will get the error and you can't get the things from the API according to the user chooses the category in the app. So now it is done. We'll hot restart it again and when I will click on the any of the category here. So as you can see, we can see all the news related to the that category here. So here the app bar name is business and it is showing all the news related to the business here. Now let's move to the category news section again and we will give some styling to the image and text here. So now it's look good. Now I want that whenever the user will press in any of the news from here, then they will redirect to a web view where they can read the news in more detail. That we have done same for the trending news section. Wrap up the container with a gesture editor here, and we'll move it to the article view, and we'll pass the URL in a blog URL. We'll hot restart it again, and when I'll click on any of the news, now as you can see, they have moved to the web view of that news here. So now as you can see, if I will click on any of the news in the business news, then they will redirect me to the web view of that specific news. Now click on entertainment. Now as you can see, app bar name changed to entertainment, and it is showing me all the things related to the entertainment here. Now same for the health. So it is showing me all the things related to the health, and same for the sports. So as I have said you before, just writing by one model like category model dot dart, and just writing the few lines of code in the category news section, we have covered all the 5 category that we have wrote inside the home page. So I have taught you by using the just one API, you can use the all the things related to the category if the user clicks on any of the category. If many of the users will write the different code for the each category, when the user will press, then it will take him lot of time to write so much code inside the VS code, and it may take lot of time to make this app. So our category part is done. Now let's move to the breaking news and trending news section again, because as you can see on the breaking news where we have wrote the text breaking news, at just right side you can see the view all section. We didn't add anything related to the view all till now. So I want that whenever the user will press on the view all text, then they can see all the breaking news on the app. So let's move to the pages folder, and I will create a new file name allnews.dart, and will create a stateful widget name allnews. Now we'll write a scaffold widget body container. Now we'll pass the string name string news here. like what type of news it is. It is breaking or trending news, and we'll show that in the app bar. These are all the things that we have already done in the category news section here. So I will not explain you much on this section. I will just do copy and paste thing and will make the view all section here. So it is done. Now many of the users might be thinking that in trending news we are passing the different API, and in our breaking news we are passing the different API. I have just now showed you how to use one Dart file and pass multiple APIs by just simple line of the code. So I will use just the same process and I will show you how I will do that. Widget.news. In widget.news, I will get either breaking or trending and I will add the news at the last. So it will become breaking news and trending news. I will copy the same list view builder here. Now it comes the main thing like how I will show two APIs in just one Dart file. So inside the item count, I will write widget.news. If is equals to breaking, then we'll show slider length, because if it is breaking news, then we will show the all the news that in our slider, and if it is category, if it is trending news, then it will automatically take the news that we have saved in the articles list. We'll do all the same thing in the image. So if the widget.news is breaking, then it will get the image from the slider section, or if not, then it will show the news from the trending section. So many of the users might create a two Dart file inside the pages folder where they will write breaking news.dart and trending news.dart. But I have wrote all the two things in one file named allnews.dart, and I have changed all the things, and I have handled two cases by adding a simple line of code inside the item count and different section here. So for this idea also, you can hit the like button to this video. So we have passed all the condition to image, description, title and URL. Now in views all, I will wrap up with a gesture detector, and in on tab, I will use a navigator.push method. and in material page root will write all news, and in all news I will pass a news name breaking, and will do same for the trending news views all section. So after hot restart, we need to go to all news dot file again, and we need to write a set state function in get news and get slider function. Now hot restart it again, and when I will click on the view all, then you can see the app bar name breaking news here and all the news related to the breaking news section, and we'll do same for the trending news, and you can see the app bar name trending news and same all the news related to the trending news. And now I want to give some margin, so I will give the margin inside the container and will give horizontal 10.0 here. Now I will hot reload it again, and now it's look more good. Now we'll check the breaking news again, and you can see all the breaking news here. So our complete app is done. Now I will walk you through the app we have built from the scratch. So here is my complete news app. So it is a landing page now, and you can see the image and the text we have written news from around the world for you. Now I will click on the get started button, and we will move to the home page of the app. So at the top you can see the different category like business, entertainment, general, health, sports. Now you can see a breaking news section here with a carousel slider which is moving automatically, and you can see all the top breaking news here with the image and the title. And just at the bottom you can see the trending news section where you can see all the news in the trending section. So when you will click to any of the category like business, then you will move to the page named business here, and you can see all the news related to the business here. Now if you will click on any of the news, then you will move to the web view of that news so that you can read the news on more detail. Now let's move back to the home page again, and when I will click on the sports, then it will show me all the news related to the sports here, and will click it on again and can read the news on more detail. Now let's go back. So in the breaking news section you can see view all. So when you will click on the view all, then you can see all the breaking news, and when you will click on any of the breaking news, as same you can read that news on more detail. Now let's go back, and in the trending news section you can see the different news, and when we'll click on the news again, then you can read that news also in more detail. Now view all. So in view all you can read all the news related to the trending news. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the news app series. If you have enjoyed learning and building with me, I have some exciting news for you. We are going to start one more and most demanded app series, which will e-commerce app series or food ordering app series. So do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out any of the videos from the upcoming series, and be the first to know when the new videos drop. So keep coding, keep having fun. Until then, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.